Okay, so this is where I am with the sail barge. I've simply just layered tons of paint on it. It depends on what reference you look at. There's tons of reference in the Chronicles book, the Sculpting a Galaxy book, the Chronicles vehicle book, and the Indiana Jones and Return of the Jedi. Well, no, in the Indiana Jones and Star Wars book. Some pictures show it really brown, and some pictures show it almost blue with the studio lights on it and that sort of thing. But yes, there is blue in it. The base coat, and I say base coat loosely because it's very carefully splotched on. It's not just one solid colour. It's very much a patchy, loose mist over mist over mist over mist with the base coat. It was a sort of a witch's brew of 1975 engine black and a big sky blue. That probably wasn't the base coat colour. Almost certain it wasn't, but it's what I had to use to get to a comfortable dark colour that also showed the blue. Now, the reason it's turned brown now is because of the numerous layers of shades from Archive X. So I think the next colour I went on after that sort of blue grey sort of colour was Roof Brown. 1975 Roof Brown. Once that went on, again, not like a big base coat. It's really random, very haphazard, just to give that sort of brown tone to appear. Then the weathered black, very, very loosely, again, applied. After that, I started picking out the panels. So if you look at the books and the reference, these are very dark. Not necessarily dark, but solid in colour. So I dry brushed over them and brought them out. Then went in with a rust, Archive X 1975 rust. Again, misted, not in a solid base coat appliance at all. Then all these areas around here, I went in with foundation. And then I had the sort of colour I was looking for. Again, this is just how I'm doing it. It's probably different for anyone else that wants to do it, and it's not an easy ship to replicate because there isn't a huge amount of reference. It is just well, there's a lot in the books, but there's not with modern cameras in the archives, which is what we really want. But, you know, this has got it to where I'm happy with so far. Now, using the enamels, I made a wash because using these same again Archive X enamels over the acrylics works beautifully, thinned down with just white spirit. And I went and made what was it? It was a rust wash first with just a dab of reefer orange in. I went around all these panels, going in there. I'll try and zoom in so you can see all these panels all around here, all a rust wash, and then try and zoom back out again. Okay, and then went in again with foundation wash, went around that, and then with the engine black I did some streaking, very careful, very washed down. If you put it on straight out of the bottle, that's going to be jet black, and that's not what you want. So that's where I'm at the moment. It's great. it's so much fun, especially this front bit. I've had a lot of fun with that, just working at that. And then finally, to get that sort of burnished metal look, just a very soft cloth, and just rubbing it like that brings out that shine of that sort of metal look. So that's where I'm at the moment. Okay, the underside, I've literally just started working on this. So I'm going to go over with the airbrush and darken it up and that sort of thing and dust it up. But that is rust with foundation over the top. And I'm going to start putting pigments in at the back, just like make it sort of replicate sand and that sort of thing. All over there, and then just keep airbrushing over it and just playing with it, because it's just zero reference for the underneath of it. Okay, so I've done the sails. They took a good coat of primer. They really well, actually. What did I do with these? SP Scarlet Red acrylic, and then foundation and rust on top. It looks really orange on camera, but it's not actually. It's quite red. And then on the underside, I've just sprayed it, and I'm going to have to go in by hand and paint all these ribs with earth, I think. So that's how the sails look. Just to show you the inside before I start gluing everything in. That's just a load of staining, really, with a enamel black, thinned down with white spirit. Just flood it on, and then with the hairdryer on it, just let it go to make all these tide marks. And then all this dust and sand, that's all pigments. Dry mud, P232 from MIG Productions. Okay, so I've got the sails on, just dry fitted at the moment. I think I might have to go in and just go down the centre line of them a bit more, because there's, on the reference pictures you can see there's a massive stain over here, which I've tried to do, but it hasn't really come out. So I've got to go more heavy with the foundation in the middle to get that sand look, and then add some more of the staining at the back. But I think it's starting to look like a sail barge. It's been great fun to do, and Sergio's done such a fantastic job of this. It's such a joy to paint. It's the design of it, everything slides in, fits perfectly, everything's sort of got its own slot, it keys in nicely. A lot of the time when you're working with 3D prints, they don't fit, and this does. So hats off to Sergio for creating this masterpiece. I've still got to go in with these engines and dirty them up, and I've forgotten there's a little bit of pipe work there, and there's a few extra little greeblies I've got to add, but that's how it's looking at the moment. Okay, so this is the base coat that I've been using. That mix of sort of blue with a hint of just a drop of black in it. I know this is incredibly sort of contrasted highly, and like you know, so it's under a flash, huge studio lights, but the idea is that we get that blue undertone. So I'll keep working on this. I'm going to put some brown on it now, some roof brown, and then build it up. Okay, that's now got the roof brown on. You can still see that blue comes through. Sorry, it's terrible lighting and my phone's not picking it up very well. I need to get a decent camera really, but it's not blue anymore. It's got that brown to it, but under a flash, that would come through showing a bit of that blue. So, sorry, my shaky hand. So next is the foundation mist. And there we have the foundation mist, which has brought it up to more of a brown tone. Now I'm just going to add some weathering, like some staining and that sort of thing, with some black enamel, and see how that looks. Okay, so I've just added some of the black to that with the airbrush, added some of the highlights on the damage there. I'll go over and sort of make this look a bit nicer, but the idea is that you can see what I'm doing. And then come to finish, I'll add all the pigments. And there you can see the pigment edit. So I'll go around and keep adding that, and then at the end I'll give it a sort of a mist with the foundation. But that's basically how the whole body was done on the sail barge, how I did it anyway. And I've just noticed these aren't on quite a few of the reference pictures, so I think these must have broken off, and yeah, some of the pictures I've got, I haven't got these on, so there's only one book really with a reference. Okay, so the bottom of the sail has been painted. All the ribbing has been done with light earth. That's all hand painted. Might have to go over some areas again. That took quite a while. So one down, another to go. Okay, so the rigging has been done on the inside, and then once that's flipped up the other way, the other bits of rigging attach like that and then go under, and I've got to do that 4 times all the way around the edge. Okay, so just looking at the ref here, you can see that there's some areas here with staining on the sails, and possibly some here on the front one. So I've gone in and done the best I could with some thin down, and this is enamel Panaline accent colour from Tamiya, which is lethal. Be very careful with it. I've thinned it like super thin with enamel thinners, and I'm literally just letting it absorb on the sails, and then you can even tap the brush, and I've done that on the model as well. Tap the brush and you get these dots, and then they just almost vanish, but that's all over the model, and that's been a little cheat that's helped so far. There you go, you can see on the top there there's some. Okay, so here we have the finished sail barge. I haven't eaten, slept or seen the family for a week to get this done for Sergio, but I'm happy with the outcome. I've got it in direct sunlight right now, so even got a fly buzzing around it to give it a sense of scale, but it's under extremely harsh lighting at the moment. I've got it out here in my barn at work with the tractors and that sort of thing. So I thought that would give it the best viewing option possible in direct sun, replicating that Tatooine twin suns. But what can I say? It's an absolutely fantastic model. It's gone together a breeze. Usually when you're working with 3D models, they look fine on screen and the CAD work looks phenomenal, and then when they get printed out, they simply don't work and require tons of sanding, puttying, sawing, sweating, crying, swearing, until you get them together. But this has been an absolute breeze to put together. Every single location hole and gluing point has fitted nicely. It's a nice size as well. I think the original was about twice the size of this, and when you're sort of concentrating on shelf space and that sort of thing, you can't keep going with the huge models. It just makes it so difficult to display. But this is a perfect display piece. Absolutely stunning work, and I hope you've enjoyed the progress and video footage of me doing it. I've certainly enjoyed it. So this is available from Sergio Gutierrez, and I'll put his link to his website in the description, and I highly recommend you picking one of these up. Cheers guys.